We're bringing the topics to you. Bring the topics, bring the topics, bring the topics. Bring the topics, bring the topics, bring the topics. Topics in the tropics, topics in the tropics, topics in the topics in the tropics, topics in the tropics, topics in the
Topics in the Tropics with Ramon Gordon and Ruella Blake.
Hello, 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 everybody. Hi.
Hey, guys, it's Ruella.
And I'm Ramon. And thank you so much for tuning in to Topics in the Tropics, the show where absolutely nothing is off limits.
Okay, so I just want to extend gratitude to everyone who supported our last video. It was our very first video.
Yes, almost 300 views. Bop, 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 bop.
Yes, man, that deserves a bingy-lingy.
Bingy-lingy-ling.
Yes, thank you guys so much. All right, so today we're going to be diving into friendships and relationships. And we got some views. We're going to share our views. So let's hear the views that we got from the public.
They're not in my relationship, none at all. I don't allow my friends in my relationship. Friends are not good for you.
Well, personally, just enough, but just enough for me. Like, I tell them certain things that I feel as though they, as my friends, need to know. Obviously, some things are going to be between the two of us that I feel that only we should know. That's pretty much all I have to say right now.
Sometimes the less you tell friends is the better, is the happier you are. Because say, for example, me and my spouse argue over some girl that him randomly talk to. And me might forgive him and move on, but my friends are going to continually, I don't know what the girl is to chat to that dirty boy, you know, and it's just going to constantly be a fuse, because then you're going to have my friend and my spouse not being okay, and I'm in the middle, and then eventually I'd have to choose between my friends and my spouse.
Okay, I think your romantic life is supposed to be between you and your partner only. Romantic details aren't supposed to be discussed between you and your friends, because it's not you and your friends' business to discuss that, especially sexual stuff and problems, because only a partner can fix it. So telling your friends is unnecessary.
I tend not to share a lot with people because it's very hard for people to understand what your relationship is like. So something may happen and you may forgive the person, but the person you're sharing with may not forgive the person. So it's really hard sharing with people. They can know the basic stuff that I guess everybody else would know, but things that are more personal, I don't share.
Now, Ruella, I want you to tell me, how much do you tell your friends about your romantic relationships? How much of your personal information you tell them?
All right, so I think it's important, firstly, to have opinions of a third party whenever you're having relationship issues. I do think it's important.
Always?
And not always, but a lot of the times.
Like, give me some examples. Some instances. Give me some instances.
Okay, so for example, you know, all right, let's keep it within the young era then. You notice that your spouse is always liking a certain person's photos on Instagram. You're scrolling.
Instagram.
You're scrolling and you see your spouse's name under this person's likes all the time. And you start to overthink and you start to say, I wonder if Joy involved or something will go on or whatever. If you should run that by a friend, your friend will be able to say, no, man, I just social media. Your friend will be able to say, no, man, you overreact. I know nothing serious.
So the friend will give you some form of reassurance. Yeah?
Exactly. And there are times when you're having issues in the relationship and you go to a friend and the friend is telling you things that aren't necessarily in your best interest or in the best interest of your relationship. So I feel like the most important thing to do would be to strike a balance.
Yeah.
Then decipher what is enough, what is too much. And I can tell you that my friends and I, we share, I want to say we share about 40% of what goes on in our separate romantic relationships. Because you have to ensure that your friends know what's going on, so that if you're in danger, firstly, your friends will be able to point that out to you. Yeah. You cannot keep everything a secret. because you'd be jeopardizing your own self in that instance. You understand? However, you have to know, say, well, this is between me and my spouse at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
And so my friend doesn't necessarily need to know every single detail.
Define a friend for me.
A friend is someone you care about who also cares about you. A friend is someone who has seen you at your highs and your lows and has been supportive throughout all of that.
Right.
And so you're able to know that if I should say something to my friend, A, it will remain in confidence, and B, my friend not gonna give me that advice where I could jeopardize me or my happiness.
Right.
So that is what you really should use to gauge what do I say, what don't I say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so what things are off limits? What things, give me a list of things that you think should never be discussed with your friend.
What should never be discussed with your friend? I feel like that's relative, and here why. You have some individuals who are ashamed or embarrassed of certain things that they might do in the bedroom or even in the relationship outside of the bedroom.
Yeah, I understand that that's relative. But just give me some
For
very
me-
general answers. Some very general answers. Because for me personally, now talk to my friends about money problem. Ladies, if you're with a man and the man is not able to buy you the Bridgets, the Louboutins, and the Pandora, you don't need to go to your friend and scandal
That's
your
true.
man.
That is
Period.
true.
Point blank.
Yeah.
Yeah? You don't talk about your partner's past. You
That
don't
is
tell him
true.
who they used to sleep with, say him used to do this and do that and do this and do that. Because then what happens? No, I'm not telling you what happened.
No,
What
because
you think that happened?
at the end of the day, if any one of those parties should fall out,
Yes.
all of that, none of that information is safe.
And as mature adults, we don't need that drama.
We really don't.
don't need that
Yeah,
drama.
and you don't discuss your partner's family life
Period.
with your friends.
Period.
No, you really don't do that.
And sorry, but I don't think that you should share your partner's nudes either.
No, that's definitely off limits.
When me not share my partner's nudes.
me not do that
Because-
either. Because at the end of the day, that the same friend then all gonna say, and that such man I work with. All right then.
Yeah, me can't
Me
talk
as
to somebody and you know all the equipment that me I work with. Look,
no, because no stranger on the road is supposed to know that.
Right.
So why should you know that?
Absolutely. And our sex life off the table. Bye. None of your business. Yeah.
What you should share with your friends are things that you're genuinely confused about, things that you feel threaten you, things such as domestic violence. Definitely, I feel like everyone should speak out
Absolutely.
about. You should speak out about issues regarding your health.
Yes.
You know, if you realize that, my partner is always smoking, I'm asthmatic, and no matter how I talk to him about it, he's not doing anything. Mega said this to Raman and see if Raman can recommend anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because at that point, your life is endangered. I feel like anything that puts you in danger should be discussed with your friends.
And what we need to realize, it doesn't even make sense most of the time to be sharing a lot of these intimate details about our relationships with our friends, because your friends only going to be hearing your side of the story. They're going to only have your side working with, and whatever advice they give you is going to be biased.
That's true. And another thing is that you don't want to share too much information with your friends in a bid to, I don't know, show your friends what luxuries you're, getting, or in a bid to say to your friend, well, this is what your relationship should be like. It should be like my relationship. Because at the end of the day, your friend has their own preferences.
Yeah.
And your friend might say to you,
Yeah.
say, me and my spouse not do this because Ray. That might leave you feeling confused about what you're doing.
Yes.
That might leave you having second opinions about what you're doing in your relationship. But
And
really and
sometimes-
truly...
Yeah. Sometimes your friend just gonna give you bad advice, period, point
Exactly.
blank. Your friend is a human being, and sometimes your yammed friend are gonna tell you if you left your man, left your wife, and you end up single because of foolishness.
And that's a one thing we never do now. My friend will tell you that. That's
Yeah.
a one thing we never, ever do. I am never the one to say, do this, do that. When you come to me, I'm going to show you the both sides.
Right.
Mega show you the pros, mega show you the cons, mega make you know what's up, and you are gonna make the executive decisions.
Absolutely.
Me not gonna make no executive decision for you. You have to decide, say, alright, mega left him, mega stay with him, am I gonna do this, am I gonna do that? I'm not gonna be the one to tell you what to do.
Make your decisions within reason.
Exactly.
Point blank.
Because at the end of the day, you see when things go wrong, Aruwala didn't make me left my man. Aruwala did this. Nobody should be blaming me for whatever go wrong in them relationship.
But I tell you how I feel.
No, baby.
You never have to listen to me. You understand?
You never have to apply my advice.
Be smart. Be exclusive. Oh, exclusive. Be very Rowella. At what point should we, start be
being
even
exclusive?
more private?
Because the thing, what happening, you meet somebody new, you want them decide to go settle down. There's excitement, there's fire in the relationship. You
Fire?
see me? And you're gonna want all of your friends them to know, but oh my gosh, he did this for me, he do that for me, or said though that girl I'm never meet nobody like her. There's this rush that you want to tell your friends, but at what point? 2 months down the line, 6 months down the line, when do you decide that, all right, make a stop, tell my friend them so
because
much?
Eventually you have to go say the friendships that you have and the intimate relations where you have are two different things. Yeah?
Especially if you're in it for the long haul.
Absolutely.
Especially if you decide that this is a relationship I want to pursue for a long time. You have to know, say, all right then, me can't deal with somebody for 20 years, and for the 20 years, my friend them know every single detail of what's going on.
Can't work.
That can't work.
Cancel, period.
That can't work. No.
Period. But even when we become exclusive, Rowella, there are still some times where we may need advice from outside parties. We need a second opinion, as you said earlier. How do we decide when the time is right to seek that outside opinion?
The thing is, it's not just how do you decide? Who do you go to? Do I go to mom about this? Do I go to dad? Do I go to my cousins? Who do you go to?
Yeah.
And that is perhaps the most relative part of it.
Absolutely.
Because there are certain things that, say you get married, your single friend, Shelly, not gonna know how to advise you about certain things within your marriage. But your mom and your dad have been...
Pause. Repeat that again.
When you are married, your single friend, she's not married. No, I'm not saying...
No marital experience.
I'm not saying that you should discredit what she's saying to you.
No,
I'm
I'm
just saying
that.
She's not going to come from a place of empathy. She's going to advise you from the outside. She's not going to know exactly how things are set and how things work, and so she's gonna advise you from an ignorant point of view.
What I'm saying, when you're looking for outside counsel, ensure that whoever you're going to talk to about your business
can relate,
knows what you're talking about and can relate. It makes no sense, like Rowella said, to go to somebody that don't know them head from them foot. Go to somebody with experience that can help. You understand?
And I feel that's where you should start. Do I go to mommy about this? Do I go to a counselor? Do I go to somebody who is younger, who is older? Who do I go to?
I think you need to go to somebody that doesn't know any of your business. I think go to a counselor. Go to somebody that can give you a real objective response. Because you're going to go to mommy and your mommy's baby. Mommy might put you in your place, but mommy's still going to be biased and give you a very,
Yes, I understand that.
So go to somebody who's objective.
Go to somebody who is objective, but about what? Because there are times when you really have to know the individuals involved to advise them as best as possible. So you'll know that, all right, say for example, your partner is always going out to parties, and you say, let me go to a counselor and talk to a counselor about this, because he just can't always go out. So
I understand what you're saying.
Exactly. And the counselor says, it's a bad habit and we can give you this and this and this exercise to do. However, if you go to your friend and your friend, you say, say such man always go to a party, we can't take that. And your friend can say to you, but remember say, that's the life you did live before you meet him.
No. So even if the person you go to is not as objective as a counselor would be, still ensure that the advice that they will give is valid.
Is not biased. True.
Yeah.
They cannot be giving you biased advice.
And we have to remember something, jealousy is real. You have some friends that you think will ride for you and die for you.
Man.
And when you go to them for advice, the first thing they will tell you to do is leave.
Yeah, they'll do that. They'll tell you to leave. And then when you're all single, and bitter, then they find comfort in that.
Yeah.
They find comfort in the fact that, all right, I know me alone single, I know me alone not a man. And that's not okay. You understand? And I'm glad we were able to establish who a friend is.
Yeah.
Because you will realize that person clearly isn't your friend.
Yeah.
So if you lose your relationship because of that person, you can lose that person too.
So what I'm really saying is, when you're seeking external advice, you have to be very cautious. You have to know who you're going to, and you have to take whatever they say with a grain of salt.
Yes, man.
But even when we do hear out this advice well and we understand this advice, how do we decide, what is relevant and what is not relevant? Do you think that comes back to personal, internal discussion with self?
I think it does. I think you have to be the one to say, can I handle this within the bounds of my relationship? Can I handle this by myself?
Yeah.
Because there are times
Does it even make sense?
Exactly.
Yeah.
There are times when you don't necessarily need to speak to your partner about certain things. You just need to sit down, think through the situation, and you come up with the answer just like that.
Communication.
Okay. Because
Communication.
if you don't, it starts with you. It really does. And then you decide that, all right, then let me communicate with my partner about this.
Yes.
Let me speak to him about the fact that he's always working late hours.
Yes.
He can never come in early. Let me talk to him as opposed to going to my friend and telling my friend about this. And my friend are going to say, oh, Bunny Magia, and next woman him have. And then when you check it out, he's working a double shift just so you can wear the Bridgettes and just so you can shop at Lee's Fifth Avenue.
Let me tell you, a lot of these issues stem from a fear to communicate. Because a lot of us are afraid to find out or afraid to verify what has made us paranoid.
Yeah.
So we prefer to live thinking that everything is dandy and shandy and stay and make things fester and get worse.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about it. And I feel like many individuals don't understand what communication is. And here why I must say that.
That's true.
Your girlfriend comes to you and she says, you always spend money on the car. You can't stop spending so much money on the car. And you take it as her just nagging you.
Right.
You understand? You feel like she's just a body, everything's just a body. But she's really letting you know that, listen, you're spending your money irresponsibly. But you don't see that because you feel like she's just a nagging. You don't understand that she's just communicating.
She's coming from a place of genuine concern.
Exactly. Conversely, you have those men who they'll try their best to say, listen, this is how I feel about that. And you have those women who say, you argue too much, your mama too much, you can't go on like your man. That's your spouse communicating with you, letting you know that, listen, this is how I feel about this.
I don't know why we're so averse to emotion,
That's
emotion,
it. Nobody
sweet.
wants to feel. And because you're not feeling anything, you can't say anything.
Right.
Nothing is on the inside. So how are you going to put anything on the outside? You're not allowing yourself to feel anything. And so you're not able to communicate and say, all right, then, I saw you hug your coworker last week and it made me feel insecure.
Right.
You don't want to that. So you just hold that in. Couple months down the line now, when something happens, and that you draw for what happened from way back when, because you never talk about it.
And now we have unnecessary conflict.
Okay.
That is why I say more when we're arguing and a cuss, cat.
And it makes no
All we have
sense.
to do and say, hello, ma'am. You know what you did made me feel this way. And me no want a response say, yeah, idiot. Why does that make you feel? No, let's have a civil conversation.
Exactly,
and
relax.
reach a consensus. Let's understand each other. Because it
Exactly.
makes no sense to commit yourself to a relationship if you're not willing to hear the other person out. And if you're not willing to allow yourself to be heard out.
Exactly.
Because you have to be willing to talk as well.
Because
it's not a
the thing is,
one-sided thing.
it's not a matter of you being submissive.
Yes.
When you're allowing someone to communicate, when you're allowing someone to say what's on their mind, it's not a matter of being submissive.
No.
It's a matter of being receptive, being fair. Because when you are talking, you want them listen.
Right.
You want your spouse to hear what you are saying. So you just relax and you listen. It's a matter of being receptive and being understanding.
Right.
You listen to what the person has say, and you're not understanding. You're listening to your girlfriend saying, babe, stop spending so much money on the car. But exactly, but you're not understanding. So she really just want you to save your money for a rainy day. You're gonna have to just every minute, Lord God, where the next dollar will come from for this important thing. But as soon as you get the money, is the car you spend it on. She's trying to say spend your money more responsibly. Perhaps she should explore other means of communication to try to get that message across. And I feel like that's another topic that we should touch on. How do you communicate with your partner? How do you say, babe, this is bothering me?
Yeah, let us know in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in hearing about.
Yes, please. Let's know if you want to hear us talk about how do you communicate what you're feeling with your partner.
Wow, Ruella. I love talking to you now. I love you so much.
It's always such a great time. It really always is.
We've come to the end of another episode. The second episode!
Yes, man.
Of Topics.
We're growing.
The Tropics. And we're not slowing down. We're going to be super consistent. The next episode will be when, Ruella?
The next episode is on Monday at 7. And we'll be unleashing our Instagram page on Monday. So stay tuned for that, guys. Stay tuned. You can all follow us and everything.
So we'll be posting twice a week. That's Monday and Thursday at 7 p.m. So you can look out for that. Put it in your calendar.
Yes, set it in at the reminder upon your phone.
Tell your mother, your sister, your friend, your sister,
put it as your lock screen.
Yes. Tell everybody.
The Instagram countdown, something they make one feed.
Absolutely.
Them way there. Yeah.
And we look forward, to sharing a conversation with you guys again next time.
Yes, man. Until then, it's been Ruella Blake.
And Ramon Gordon.
What good, guys?
That was Topics in the Tropics with Ramon Gordon and Ruella Blake.
Thank you.